This podcast is taking place in Houston, Texas. It will be published on the date of May 11th, 2018, and the title is Oh Dear Gen Z is Queer.
LGBTQ+ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, and or non-binary or gender fluid. Gay and lesbian teens are 2 to 3 times more likely to commit suicide than others of the age category. About 28% of those groups feel forced to drop out of school altogether. Here we'll be discussing the hardships of homophobia this group faces from their family members, strangers, etc. One of our hosts will be interviewing an anonymous queer. She'll share her standpoint on the derogatory treatment she has received as a lesbian of African American descent.
Why do you personally believe it is important to understand and help LGBT youth?
Because when it comes to coming out, it's really rare for them to be accepted, like with their family, and they could like get kicked out of their house, and even like sometimes they get killed for being called for coming out. And what else? I mean, there's so much that happens to like LGBT people in general, just when they like actually come out, and it's pretty sad like how we're still not accepted after so many years, and even though it's legal in America, it's still like discriminated just in general.
And also like it's legal now, but it wasn't always legal. So. How do you think the invention of the internet has helped or hurt LGBT youth?
It's helped more than hurt, but it has like actually hurt. It's exposed like the stories of LGBTQ like people, and just showing like how we're all equal really, and I don't know, it's brought sense of pride to being LGBT, and also it has hurt because people could like cyberbully through it, you know.
Or like expose people who don't want to be out yet.
Expose people like what Ted Cruz is trying to do with his wife.
Oh my god, that's insane. I think that should be illegal. How can people of all ages and sexual identities help our city's LGBTQ community?
First, we could like start not seeing them as separate just because of their sexual preferences, you know? Not treating like outsiders, and also, I don't know, just be more accepting to LGBT, trans, gays, especially trans go through a lot. I don't know how we could really help, because like me being part of the LGBT community, I'm like, I don't know, I've experienced a lot of homophobic people. So I mean, every time I think of a suggestion, there's always something that will like push it back, because
I get you. It's hard to see it on the outside when you're so on the inside. Do you think LGBT teens will ever be safe in our city? Why or how?
I mean, I hope, but I don't think it's not realistic when we have this other generation of the older people that are not as accepting. I mean, because this generation is more accepting now, and if we keep on making it more accepting, like maybe in like a couple decades or something, it will be more accepting, and like we'll actually be safe and seen as like not outsiders.
So you think we will one day be safe?
One day, if the world doesn't end before that.
What do you want to say to people that don't know / understand what being an LGBTQ teen in Houston is like?
I just want them to be more open and not just think, oh, because the Bible said so. I want them to know that when it comes to you being gay or trans, it's not really a choice. It's like you're more born with it. It's not like, oh, I just want to be gay because I want to be gay, you know? It's like you just have this feeling and you can't fight it, you know? Like, I can't help liking girls and boys. You know, and like even if for trans people, I don't know it like personally, but like it's not really just like a choice to be like, oh yeah, I want to be a boy now, I want to be a girl now. It's like you feel it inside, like you know it, but you can't help it, you know? So you just...
Yeah, I totally get you. Do you personally think you're safe as an LGBT teen in Houston?
With me being with my family and our religion, it's not really safe to be out like that. And I've also went through a lot with them because of it. And even in like at least in this school, it's accepting, you know? But in other schools, like my last middle school, I used to get teased a lot for it. I don't know, I'm not really safe, to be honest.
Were you out in your middle school?
7th grade,
So this question leads up to what you just said. What is your personal experience with homophobia that comes from family or friends?
All right. Through family, when I came out, basically my parents were like, no, you're not, you can't. I also was slapped. Right?
Really?
Yeah, but like, cause my family they believe that boy and girl, they don't want me to be that one gay child that brings in like her wife or something.
Oh.
And they don't want me to be that embarrassment. And they basically forced me to say, yeah, okay, I'm straight, you know? But deep down, I'm not. So I'm planning to actually officially come out once I move out of the house and tell them, yeah, so you can't do anything. And also in school, people have used the F word a lot. I mean, I don't like saying it because it triggers. But yeah, like, even when I came out to a few friends, they're like, oh, as long as you don't, like, hit on me or whatever. Like, they have this generalization or whatever, or this idea that, like, if you're gay, you like every girl you talk to. Like, no, it's not true.
Yeah.
Especially, all right, I'm gonna bring it into the Black community.
Okay.
It's really, they're pretty close. Like, yeah, we have a lot of gays and trans in it, but when it comes to, like, families, they're a bit more close-minded. Because we, as a Black person, we already go through enough discrimination, and then adding on to the gay, it adds more discrimination. And my family does not want that for me, and you don't want that for, like, anybody, but that's just what happens, you know?
Yeah. So you think it comes from equal sides, like family and friends, or more family than friends for you?
Now that I'm in this school, it's not as much as from friends, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I moved on, and I feel happier now. But from family, it's still the same. It's just I can't really speak about my sexuality or even show any interest in, like, LGBT activities that I see on TV.
Yeah.
Because they'll be suspicious.
Yes, I get you. That happens to me all the time. This is an important one. How do you think our government and school district can change to become more accepting and understanding of LGBT people, especially the teens who are LGBT?
Okay. What government could do?
And their school district, like HISD.
And school district.
Both
All right.
or one in specific.
Schools can't really do too much besides the bathroom thing with trans people, but I don't know much about it, to be honest. So, like, I don't want to, like, speak on it. I'd rather have someone who's trans, like, speak on it. So I'll leave that to them. But when it comes to gay relationships, I don't know. I haven't really seen discrimination through the school district, but I'm sure there is. But I don't know, maybe like...
So, for example, our government right now, it's legal in a lot of states to discriminate against gay couples.
Oh.
In, like, you know that thing...
especially adopting children.
Adopting, but also, like, there's, like, this very famous case of a man who claimed religious freedom because he didn't want to make a wedding cake for a gay couple.
Oh.
And, like, not serving gay people, and then so...
It should be a hate crime, you know?
Yeah.
Like how the government does not allow for you to, like, discriminate against Black people, because they're Black. Yeah, people still do that, but they should make, like... They made a law so that doesn't really happen, so it's considered a hate crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they should do that for LGBTQ also, because they're treated as unequal, like the way Blacks were.
Yeah.
So, like, why not make a difference for them if you can make a difference for us, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever.
Just maybe change their policies and stuff. Do you think Houston is a safe city for youth to grow up in, like specifically LGBT youth? Growing up, not just like existing.
Growing up, some parts of Houston.
Some parts?
Some parts. My part of Houston is more conservative and pretty white.
Yeah.
But in this side of Houston, like this area in Montrose, it's really accepting. And you see like the gay flag up there for like Orlando.
Yeah.
And it's really, I feel like this area is a safe place for them to grow up. Because it's becoming more accepting with LGBT, but like you need to be careful of what side of Houston.
Which side of Houston you're in?
Yeah.
The last one. What advice would you give to an LGBT person that is still in the closet?
Don't force yourself, and wait till the time is right. Don't do it too early, like I did. Make sure you're like stable and know what you're gonna do in case they say they're not accepting. I wish I thought of that before.
Yeah.
But, like, have a plan for both sides. Like, not every parent is accepting, so...
That's really good advice. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Additional information was found on the topic of LGBTQ youths, not only in Texas but nationwide. HRC, the Human Rights Campaign, report, Growing Up LGBT in America, is a groundbreaking survey of more than 10,000 LGBTQ identified youth ages 13 to 17. This study and survey provides a stark picture of the difficulties they face. Although the impact on their well-being is profound, these youth stand strong and are quite resilient. According to the study, bisexual youths make up 40% of the 10,000 survey participants, with gay at 27% and lesbian at 19%, and those who classified as other came in at 17%. Basic statistics in the survey show that 4 out of 10 LGBTQ youths, 42%, say the community in which they live is not accepting of the LGBTQ population. LGBTQ youths are twice as likely as their peers to say they have been physically assaulted. 92% of LGBTQ youth say that they hear negative messages about being LGBTQ. The top sources are school, the internet, and their peers. 26% of LGBTQ youth say their biggest problems are not feeling accepted by their families, trouble at school or bullying, and fear to be out/open.
I'm sure that we are all left better informed after hearing different opinions from both scholarly research and from a personal account of an African American woman's experience. The interviewee helped to touch on the point that the bigotry does not only come from the authority figures, but also from her own peers. This kind of bigotry makes LGBTQ+ teens 28% more likely to drop out of school. Discrimination, as well as having to discover your own sexuality and gender identity, build up to create an extreme vulnerability for these LGBTQ+ teens. The statistics that this specific group is 2 or 3 times more likely to commit suicide drives in the point that these vulnerabilities are showing in extreme negative ways. With the survey including 10,000 participants, no one can deny the test results. The interviewee said that the acceptance is a big part in making the world a better place for LGBTQ+ youth. Since these youth are twice as likely to be assaulted as their peers, it is important to recognize that discrimination is not only causing youth to implode in such events as suicide, but also to be attacked from the outside. But the professionals and the youth that are living through these events of bullying and assault say that the closest step to protecting the LGBTQ+ youth is just being a moral human. Organizations such as the Montrose Center are doing what they can for LGBT youth by way of support groups and therapy. In this digital age, it is important to recognize the groups that have become severely vulnerable. Signing out with the podcast in Houston, Texas, dated May 11th, 2018, with the title of Oh Dear, Gen Z is Queer.